Hi there and welcome to my video today. My name is Henry Smith from IamWealthyandRich.com and welcome to today's video, cryptocurrency portfolio update, where I'm updating my cryptocurrency portfolio. Actually, they should really be called digital asset portfolio, but people are used to the name cryptocurrencies, so we'll stick to that. And what it's about is I started an investment portfolio a year ago, in May 2020. We're now in May 2021, so it's been a year. And from very humble beginnings. And I started it just on a personal note, but it was only recently I decided to document things, just for like a case study for myself, really. And it wasn't until February 2022 I started documenting and recording videos. So these videos haven't been gone for very long, but you can go back and see previous videos to see the first one from when it got started and how I got to the point that I got to this year. And then obviously I've been tracking ever since. And I think it is important to track it, but for the right reasons, not for the wrong reasons. Some people track for the wrong reasons and they get caught up on what's happening on a day-to-day basis. To me, what's happening on a day-to-day basis is really largely irrelevant, because you really, on a short-term basis, I'm not a short-term investor, or should I say, even if you to look at investing on a short-term basis, you want to look at least 1 year. So I really need to just put it in and look at it after 1 year. Put it in again, looking at it. And if you look at it over 4 years, that's when you'll really see what's happening. So what's happening on a day, if you zoom in on a microscopic day-to-day basis, you start to see all kinds of so-called imperfections, which are really irrelevant. So bear in mind, that's that's the way you really want to look at things like this. But when I'm still documenting it, because obviously a whole year is made up of 365 days. And it's interesting to see what's happened over the 365-day period, but not to dwell on what happens in a particular week or month or 3 days or so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and update today's figures. I believe I've got the right spreadsheet open. Yeah, I have. And then we shall continue from there. So this is a spreadsheet I've been updating. And again, as I said, it's really for my own purposes. Before I do, I should really go back to the screen and do the obligatory disclaimer. So I'm not a financial planner, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not an accountant or CPA. So do your own research, do your own due diligence, understand that all investments carry risks. Your investments can go up as well as down. So do not invest more than you can afford to lose. Okay, so I'm meant to say that for legal purposes. And I'm just showing really what's happening from my experience. I'm not, like I said, being your financial advisor. So let's go back to sharing. So like I said, this is the screen, this is the spreadsheet that I started updating the 1st of February. And as you can see, in the total column here, I add the figures here according to what it does on a daily basis. And when it goes forward on the previous day, I color that green. When it goes backwards on the previous day, I color that red. So you got lots of forwards and backwards. And that's just the way the market goes, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards. And we sometimes have some long runs when it goes forward for a week or more. Then it comes back again, forward and back again 3 days. And that's just the way the market goes. And you just get used to it after a while. So anyway, so here we are now on the 11th of March. Sorry, not March, May, the 11th of May. And I'm going to put today's figure in there and the time, roughly. And I get my figures from this page here, which comes in from a live feed, which is connected to coin market cap into the portfolio. Then it multiplies and gives me the figure here. So here we have a portfolio that consists of one whole Bitcoin, an assortment of different alternative coins known as altcoins, and that's the overall of that portfolio, the overall amount of that portfolio, and in US dollars. And in the right-hand side, you've got the same portfolio, but it's just in pounds, being converted into roughly the pound equivalent, Great British pounds or GBP or pound sterling. So I'm going to take this figure here, 234,429.75. Got the numbers again. 234,442. 234,432. I guess it was 79. Was it 79? No, what? 75. 234,429. Where did I get that from? 429.29 and 75. 75, not 79. Okay, so that's the figures here. So if we bring this down, compute it, it's gone down by 15K. So this is going to color this in red. And then we move over to the overall amount, which is 290,338.92. 290,338.92. 290,338.92. Let's just see if I got that right. 290,338.92. Yeah, that's correct. That is also down on yesterday, which is down 17K. So we color that red as well. Bitcoin is down yesterday, 1,900. So we to 55K. So that there we go. Oh, is that old? So that's that's the way we update the figures for today. And I think it's, like I said, it's very important, like I said, not to read in too much into the ups and downs on a weekly basis, because this is not a weekly investment. It's not a weekly investment. It's not even a monthly investment. It's really not even a yearly investment. But in the minimum, you can look over 1 year. And if you were to look over 1 year, you'll see something that Bitcoin has increased tenfold. Almost tenfold. I mean, I think last May, I think it was around 8,000 in May. So it's increased quite a bit if you want to look at that, zoom out in a year. So when you look at it, 8,000 and now it's 55,000, does it really matter? The only thing that matters is that it went up. That's the only thing that matters. And the same thing as the altcoins and so on and so forth. A year ago they were a fraction of what they are today, and they've only gone in one direction, which is up. And that's the way you have to look at your portfolio. If you're not a trader, if you're a trader, then obviously you look at it on a minute by minute basis. And I'm not, I don't have a problem with trading, but that's just not something that I do because it's very time consuming and mental energy consuming. But if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But however, like I said, having the right mindset as an investor is very, very important, because when it goes down, you see this as opportunities to buy more if you have the excess funds, or you can maybe look around for funds to try and invest more. You see what I mean? When it goes down like to 55,000 or something, I want to buy more, not run from the hills. Run for the hills, like people who don't understand what's going on. An opportunity to buy more. And so it's an opportunity. That's how you have to look at it. Every day, it's always an opportunity. And in the scheme of making money in markets, you make money when it goes up, but you become rich when it goes down. If you take advantage, that's how you become rich. And so it's very counterintuitive. The way in which a successful investor would act versus a novice investor. A novice investor will run for the hills. An investor with a more developed, evolved, intelligent IQ, emotional IQ, would look for opportunities and try and invest to get more out of their investment. And I've done that several times this year alone. I've been, during when it dipped in February and so on and so forth, I was able to invest quite a bit more to capture and capitalize on this. And it's just carried what the investments that I had back then, it's carried them upwards, which is great. And that's what, so it's an opportunity. It's always an opportunity. And I sometimes feel sad a little bit if I'm not able to take full advantage of it. I'm always taking advantage of it. The I Am Wealthy and Rich stands for how to understand the game of money and play it well. And you understand the game of money and play it well on two levels. One is the emotional level, really, I mean the mental level, and developing that wealth and prosperity mindset. The second is the strategy of how to invest, what to invest in, okay, and when to actually, shall I say, react so that you can take advantage of situations when the market goes down to get more. If you had your wits about you, see the difference between somebody who has the mindset and the right investment and someone who has just the right investment. So the one with the mindset will make more opportunity. You'll get more opportunity out of that same situation. That's very, very different. I mean, in other words, the difference between somebody coming away with $1 million and another person with the right mentality of the same investment coming away with 5 million. What's the difference? Well, the way they managed things, even though they're in the same investment, was very different. Why? Because the way they think up here, what they're receptive to. They're receptive. I talked about, the reticular system that helps you look for opportunities. And once you program yourself to be successful, you will find opportunities that you otherwise would have missed had you not developed that, shall I say, sixth sense. It's not really a sixth sense, but it's another level of mind that you develop, the wealth and prosperity mind, that kind of leads you always to ways of making more money in whatever situation you're in. So, and it's changed me. I mean, when I think about it, I started this training about, 17 months ago, 16 months ago. February 2020, I started this training. And nothing really happened much the first month. I had a bit of a warm feeling. But after a period of time, because I had no money at that time back in February 2020 to invest. And so, but I did have the strategy, the mindset, wealth and prosperity strategy, which means the only thing I could have needed was my time, and I could afford time, because everybody's got time. Everybody's got 24 hours a day. So I decided to put that into action. And within a few short months, I was able to attract the capital to invest and to start my investments in the crypto market space. But what's interesting is that, after doing it all of last year, the mental exercises, the wealth and prosperity training, really drumming into myself that I understand the game of money and I play it well. And the way in which I spend money now, because the way in which the rich spend money is very different from the way poor people spend money. When the rich spend money, they get it back. So in effect, they don't spend money. That's why they always get rich. And if you can learn to spend money in a way that you get it back, which means effectively what you're buying is free, then you're not spending money. Poor people are always spending money. That's why they're broke, because money always leaves them, okay? But if money always, for me, money always multiplies in my possession because I have decreed it so. So I can't even bring myself to spend money if I know I'm not going to get it back. So I'll only spend it if I can get it back. And I know that I'm going to get it back. There's no problem about me getting it back. Now, I'm talking in little ways of riddles here. There's some more behind this, which I'm not going into here. I'm going to show you where you can get access to understanding the basis of what I'm talking about in a minute. But now, not only do I want to spend money and get it back, And so it's not enough for me to just want to spend money. It's good enough just to spend money. It's good to spend money and get it back. But it's even better to spend money and get 5 times, 10 times back. So that's the mindset you want to develop. And for those who don't have that mindset, they'll be saying, what in the world is he talking about? How can you spend money and get it back? How can you spend money and get 10 times back? It's a mindset. And it shows, if you're thinking that, it shows that you don't have that mindset yet. I didn't have that mindset 18 months ago. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with you. Okay, just not been hanging around the right crowd. Okay, so do you understand? Yeah. So you have to kind of, if you don't look for such things, you won't find them anyway. But it's very simple. Trust me. It's not as complicated as it sounds. It's very simple. But that's where you need to get into our training, and you'll find out. Okay. But so I like to know if I spend $3,000 or pounds, I know that I'm going to get 30,000 back. And if I spend 3,000 and I'm not getting, at least getting the 3,000 back, I don't even feel easy. So most people, and before Henry, the past Henry, would spend 3,000 and it's gone. There's no way it's coming back. Then, you know, I got to the level where I'd spend the 3,000 and, you know, I make sure that 3,000 is coming back to me. But now I'm moving to a place where, yeah, I want to make sure I get 30,000 back if I spend 3,000. And that's a mindset. It's what I want, it's what I want to make happen, and it happens, and it's happening. And I set myself up for that. Okay, I set myself up for that. And let me, you know, and I know sometimes when gurus kind of say things like this, it sounds all mysterious and so on, and it leaves you all in a loop, in a limbo, and thinking what guy talking about, talking in riddles. And I am talking in riddles, but I'm not. Okay, because I don't say that I get the money back the next day. Okay, but I plant seeds so that I'm getting that money back over time. Just to let you know, in case you thought that I spent, you know, 3,000 and then, you know, 24 hours later 30,000 comes back. No, that's not what happened. That's not what's important to me, that it comes back next day. Just that it's coming back. Okay, that's as long as it's coming back, and I make sure it's coming back. Okay, and easily getting the money back, the actually 3,000 back, but to get 30,000, you know, 10 times the amount back. Yeah, make sure I put that in place when I spend, so that when I spend, I'm spending with peace of mind, knowing that I'm laughing when I'm spending, because I know it's basically free, you know. So it doesn't have to come back, you know, the next day or the next week. That's not what I'm talking about. I don't actually need to come back the next week. I know that I put certain things in place so that it's coming back. And you think that way, you will then get to a point, then you get so much money that, oh, this is money that came back from that time when I spent it here. There's just another money that came back. There's another, and it's 10 times more, you know, and then you spend that in the same way. Yes, it becomes wonderful, easy, and you wonder, it's so easy to become rich. Why the rich keep getting richer? The rich get richer and the poor get poorer because they keep doing the same things. You see, it's a habit. They are habits. These are wealth spending habits. You also, people have poverty spending habits. If you use poverty spending habits, you'll remain poor. If you use wealthy spending habits, you'll get richer. So it's about your habits. So develop the right habits, okay? And those, your habits will serve you. You know, rich people and poor people, they're both the same. They both have habits. They both have habits. But the second thing I like to say, they're both unwilling to change. Poor people don't change their habits, so they remain poor. Rich people don't change their habits, so they remain rich. You understand? So, you know, you've got to develop the right habits. And that comes with time, with a different outlook. You know, when you've reconditioned your mind, you're now thinking wealth and prosperity, you do things differently. You spend differently. You look for opportunities differently. You look at money differently. You understand? You think, you look differently. So it's just a different. So again, I look at my investments differently. I look at the reds and the greens differently. You understand? I very, very different. What's going on in my mind is very, very different to what would going on with somebody who hasn't got that training. And I've had even students of mine not even pay attention to the mental training that I've told them to do. And I recommended that they did, I suggested they did, and they've gone straight on into the physical investing, and they're doing that, and they're ignoring the mental, and it's not a good thing to see happen. And you kind of remind them, have you studied the mindset training yet? I remember one of them saying on the phone, you mean that mental stuff? I said, yeah, that mental stuff. You'll get around it. I said, you really want to take it seriously, because there'll come a time when yes, your investment doesn't make money, but when you go to withdraw it, if you don't know what you're doing, you'll end up losing it or not keeping as much of it. Why? Because you don't have the mindset developed. So that mental stuff is very important, because remember, it's not just how much money you make, but it's how much money you keep. Okay, so just advices on the mental outlook of how wealthy people look at things financially, and how those who are not wealthy look at things. It's very, very different. The difference between poverty people and those who are wealthy and prosperity, they don't look at things different. They look at things opposite. Opposite. It's not even different, it's opposite. And so when I started developing the opposite kind of thinking, yeah, it is really interesting. That's why I say I spend money, I get it back, or I get 10 times back. Opposite. Not that I'm looking for a discount. Okay, no, I'm looking to spend my money and get it back 1 time, 5 times, 10 times. Totally opposite. All right, so that's what you're going to be if you want to be in the 5%, 1% of people. You've got to think opposite from the way the 99% of people think. Anyway, whatever you make of it, start your training. If you haven't started it yet, I'm going to show you where to get free access right now. Let's just go to that website. I'll show you where to get free access so you can actually start. And once you start applying it, the training, all sorts of ideas and opportunities will start coming to your mind, and you'll start to see things you actually didn't see before. Okay, so I won't need to tell you these things. They'll be like, it's almost like it's in your blood. You understand? So if you go to this site here, IamWealthyandRich.com. It's my blog. I'm Wealthy and Rich, how to understand the game of money and play it well. It's my blog at the moment, but will become a lot more as time goes on. And scroll down here, come down to this little form here, fill it out, get your millionaire mindset and investment strategy free. Put your name and email address in, I'll send it to you straight away, and get into it. It consists of using some free resources, plus my own spin of how I use those free resources. Apply them exactly as I teach them, and you will eventually, you're not going to see changes the first day or the first week. Really, maybe not even the first month, I don't know. Maybe you will in the first month. But over time, you'll start to see changes and changes and changes, and you have to apply the exercises consistently. Okay, so go here, IamWealthyandRich.com, get your free training. And also, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to this video, and so YouTube can share it with more people. And once again, I want to thank you very much for your time and watching my video. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your support. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Comment below, by the way. Have a great day. Bye.